You're rolling, crowd's quiet, you're up 15, and go ahead. Everybody's feeling it. Day one shot, a 3-point shot, give it a roll of dice. But not when the crowd's going against you. And I see it all the time when I'm watching games. Like, guys just don't understand what is a good shot in what situation. And it's so critical to be able to understand that, to be able to stop runs and keep the crowd out of games.
Last time the Warriors came back from 23 down to win a game was very similar to this one, though the opposition was a little bit different. Back in 2017, the 17-18 season, November, Warriors on the road at Philly, they give up 47 points in the first quarter to Philly. They were down 47-28, and then they were down by 22 at the break. They come out in the third quarter and outscored Philly 47-15. That was the craziest game, and they beat the Sixers. Let's see, Steph had 35, 5 and 5. Kevin Durant had 27. Clay had 17.
But they managed to get their way back into it. And again, I thought DiVincenzo's defensive pressure to start the third quarter kind of set the tone for that quarter. And you get off to a nice start, and you're up 5 at 14-9 in the quarter, and then you just go ahead and rip off a double-digit run, and you could just tell they were feeling it, and so were the Trailblazers. They were feeling it too. They're getting all tight. Again, shot selection was very, very questionable, and they just they had two guys that they could go to, Lillard and Grant. And when they didn't get the ball, it was tough sledding for them. And they were taking tough shots, but the Warriors are making it tough on him in a number of possessions as well. And the Warriors, I bet you they doubled, if not tripled, possibly quadrupled their number of backdoors in the second half. Because the first half, they just didn't get that type of movement, and they weren't getting to the bucket. In the second half, they used the Blazers' aggressiveness against them, and they went backdoor multiple times to get easy buckets.
In the first half, Golden State at halftime had 10 assists. They had 10 assists. They had 24 in the second half.
Wow, 24.
24.
I mean, that's a monster number.
That's crazy. And let me just figure this out here. So it's 24 and on 31 made buckets. They made 18 shots in the first half, 24 assists on 31 buckets in the second half. That's crazy.
I'm going to say that's efficient.
Yeah, I think
that's pretty efficient.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah, just a really, really nice effort. Now Thursday come the Clippers, and we'll see if they can, for the first time all year, get to 3 games over 500. Think about that. How weird does that sound?
Very weird.
Very. And we'll see if they can get there, because they got 2 more games. And then it becomes not 2 more games of the season, 2 more games of the homestand. And then it becomes a bear. It's going to be...
A cocaine bear?
I don't know. Possibly. I might have to go see that.
I may actually have to go to the theater and pull out some change for that one.
Well, the thing is, you know exactly what you're getting, right? Yeah. We actually talked to Peter Hartlaub yesterday at the Chronicle, and he goes, it's exactly what you think it is. I go, well, you know what? I wish I could say that about every movie. Right. It's exactly what I think it's going to be. Right. I would be happy. But they get done with the 5-game homestand. and then you go on the road for 3. You come home for 2, and then go on the road for 5. And it's not like coming home for 2 is going to be easy. Milwaukee and Phoenix is what they get when they come home. And then when they come home off the 5-game trip, 76ers are waiting for you. So this next couple weeks, and it'd be really nice to get these last 2 at home. Just finish up a really nice homestand. Give yourself some nice momentum heading into the road, and then just kind of go from there, because you're going to have the Grizzlies twice. You got the Lakers. You got the Grizzlies. I said Grizzlies twice. You got the Clippers a couple times.
You're thinking Bears.
I am Bears. It's tough. I mean, it's again, it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it, but it's going to be rugged.
So by the tiebreakers in the standings, I know you'll love this since tomorrow is March the 1st.
I love tiebreakers with 20 games left.
Yeah.
Big fan.
The Warriors are in the 6th spot for the moment.
Look at that.
Bang.
There they go. Well, I don't want to. I was going to say so and so lost to so and so, but you got scores coming.
I got scores coming.
I don't want to ruin it.
You don't want to ruin it
for
there's some who do want to ruin it, but that's okay.
I'm not. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
I appreciate that.
It really is. I'll tell you one thing I do know though. Because after 60 games, you are who you are. You don't change much. Sacramento's really good.
They're good.
I mean, they're good, and they know it.
Good,
and they know it, and they're confident, and they're not just waiting for the bottom to fall out of this thing. They expect to go out there and win basketball games, and they're really there. I don't know if there is a team in the Western Division, maybe even all of basketball, that's more fun to watch. I mean, they're just like really fun to watch. One, because they give up so many points. They're like the old Air Coryell Chargers. They just outscore you. Like, hey, let's get to 130. Let's get to 130 before they do. I love that era of those songs. Houston Oilers.
Oh, yeah.
I think the same guy did all the songs.
Yeah, I probably sat in his basement with a,
Let's see. What other songs do we have? Let's go with this one.
Yeah, I remember the one guy, he was like a meteor in the NFL then was John Jefferson.
Oh, wide receiver for the
4-year run there.
Incredible.
He was like one of the best receivers in football.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he held out and got traded, I think, to Green Bay, and nobody ever heard from him.
No, they didn't. The boy in San Diego. And they didn't even miss him that much. They got Wes Chandler coming in when he left.
I know.
Kellen Winslow, Charlie Joyner, Chuck Muncie.
Charlie Joyner.
Yeah, old man Charlie Joyner out there. That was a fun team to watch, though, because they literally had to get to 35 to win every game. That's the Kings on the basketball court. Get us to 130 before you get to 130.
De'Aaron Fox is really, I hate to use the cliche because it's one we all use, but I'm not going to say he bought it, but he's kind of gotten to the point where he said, okay, for us to win, I've got to play a little bit differently. Yep. And it's not a great adjustment for him. He still does a lot of the stuff he used to do, but
quarter. It looked like the Clippers kind of had things rolling, and we're going to kind of cruise in this game, but
I don't think, I think that's more of a personnel thing than any coaching or anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more personnel than anything else. And, if they had a tremendous shot blocker on that team, if Miles Turner had been on that team instead of Sabonis, then they probably wouldn't be as good offensively, but they would be better defensively. So it's a little, but again, they're good. In the way the game's played today, they're fine. They don't have to play the lights out defense to win games.
And you got to think really hard when somebody asks you who's really good defensively right now. Milwaukee is. Yeah. Boston is when Williams is playing. Memphis pretty good defensively. Yeah, Robert, exactly. They're really good defensively.
Right.
But 3-4 teams maybe?
Yeah.
This isn't. You got to score in this league now. You have
Crazy.
to. You're not going to win games 108 to 104. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the playoffs. How much the game slows down. Does it slow down? It usually does a little bit, but it's an offensive game.
And that's one thing the Warriors have in their back pocket. If they can get the right, Wiggins, Peyton, Curry healthy before the end of the year, and can they get to the playoffs, then they have the experience, number one. And number two, they will be better defensively right away because Wiggins and Peyton are there. And Clay is playing better than he did before, just simply all the way around. And so, he's getting back to being a good defender the way we saw him play before. So yeah, I think they have that in their back pocket, but they've got to get to that point.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
A lot of intrigue.
So,
a lot of intrigue. Oh, the Jeffersons.
Yes.
Moving on up.
We said John Jefferson. Yeah. We're moving on up. That's right. Moving on up, man.
Moving on up, and I'm moving on out.
You're moving on out. You're like Billy Joel. I'm moving out.
Moving out. All right, I will see you Thursday.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Really fun game.
Had no thoughts of a comeback in the first half.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought they might make a run, but
ye of little faith.
Yeah,
Even you said it was early. You just lying to everybody?
No. I just wasn't as confident as some other people might have been. But
I don't know how confident I was. I just know how long NBA games are.
See, the thing I was worried about was that I thought, okay, if they make a run and Lillard gets going again, or Lillard gets that look on his face, then they're going to be in trouble because he can literally take a game away from you.
He never got that look on his face. Only had 6 points in the second half.
No, he seemed a little out of sorts in the second half.
Well, again, Dante DiVincenzo, the first 5-6 minutes of the third quarter, he just didn't touch the ball. Didn't let him get the ball. And the Blazers, and I got to say, that's a little bit on Chauncey Billups, too, for not coming up with a scheme to get him the ball and getting DiVincenzo off him. They finally, after the first time out, they finally figured out how to get him the ball. But the Warriors were at that point, hey, we'll just double him. Everyone's out of sorts. Let's just get the ball out of this guy's hands and make sure he doesn't beat us. So, nice win. Couple more at home. Clippers, Pelicans, but Clippers in 2 days, and looking forward to that one.
That should be a fun game. We'll see what the Warriors can come up with for that game and see if they get even just a little bit healthier between now and then. Thank you, Tommy.
See you Thursday, Tim.
That is Tom Tolbert. I'm Tim Roy. A reminder that your Warriors shop item of the game presented by Rakuten will celebrate NBA Jam and the Splash Brothers with a retro. Save 30% tonight only. Enter code IOTG30 at checkout at shop.warriors.com. It's a Fanatics experience. Our electrifying player of the game, we're going to give it to our post-game guest, Dante DiVincenzo. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists while guarding Damian Lillard. It's brought to you by Toyota, class-leading MPG, and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go to the Kaiser Permanente scoreboard. Washington Wizards taking on the Atlanta Hawks. And, of course, the Hawks with new head coach Quinn Snyder.
Beal still in the dribble at the State Farm Arena logo. Beal, left elbow, jab step, leans in, flips to the shot, bangs and scores! Left side of the lane from 12 feet. Bradley Beal scores. And the Wizards up by 3, 119-116 with 8.9 seconds left. Bradley Beal has taken over.
He has taken over indeed, giving the Wizards that lead as he spoils the coaching debut for Quinn Snyder in Atlanta. 37 for Beal, 28 from Kyle Kuzma, 119-116. Wizards over the Hawks. Trae Young had 31. It responded, had a contested 3, got the Hawks within 1. But Beal, with that bucket following that 3 by Trae Young, puts the ball game away. And for the Hawks tonight, they outscored Washington 39-18, but were outscored 66-52 in the paint. Kristaps Porzingis did not play tonight for the Wizards. Moving on to Milwaukee and Brooklyn. Another big bucket for Brook Lopez.
Bounce pass to Middleton on the right wing. A jab step right now goes left. He's going to pass it down low. Fake the shot. Passed it into Lopez, who floats it over the iron and good. Tough shot there from the former, New Jersey net, Brook Lopez. He's still the franchise's all-time leading scorer with shots like that one.
He's also a former Stanford Cardinals standout. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 33 points, 15 rebounds. Milwaukee extended their winning streak to 15 in a row as they knock off Brooklyn 118-104. Drew Holiday, 14 points and 8 assists. The Bucks went 10-0 in February, and they've passed Boston now for the best record in the NBA. Antetokounmpo came back. He missed the game on Sunday with a bruised right quad, but Brook Lopez, 13 points, 10 rebounds to help out. Middleton, 18 off the bench. The Bucks, we're talking about defense, they held Brooklyn to 42 second-half points. Nets have dropped 3 in a row, and they have lost a total of 7 of their last 9. Mikal Bridges with 31. Spencer Dinwiddie with 26 points. Bucks outscored the Nets in the paint by a count of 62-44. The Toronto Raptors were taking on Chicago tonight.
Here comes Van Vliet. Far side, left wing. Raptors in the white, coming left to right. Anunoby drives on DeRozan, gets it, jams it down. OG hit a trampoline in the lane and went up to the top floor with 2 hands for safety.
And let me tell you, he caught it. He just ripped to the center of the court, and he just rose up like he didn't even see DeMar in front of him.
Pascal Siakam with 20 points tonight. Gary Trent Jr. at 19. Toronto wins their 8 of their last 10. They've won 8 of 10. They beat Chicago 104-98. OG Anunoby, you heard him there. He had 17. Nikola Vucevic with 23. Zach LaVine was 17. DeMar DeRozan, 13 against his former squad as they fell to 10-21 on the road. Raptors now a game below 500. Fred VanVleet came back on the floor tonight. He missed the last of 3, spent time at home with the birth of his 3rd child, shot 1 of 11, 1 of 9 from distance. Toronto signed Will Barton today, and they waived Juancho Hernan Gomez to get ready for the postseason. The Memphis Grizzlies were at home tonight, entertaining Los Angeles.
Schroeder left wing, lobs for Davis, intercepted by Bane. Bane gets by a defender. Bane lobs for Morant. Oh, what an alley-oop and a 2-handed finish for John Morant. Bane with an absolutely gorgeous pass, and Morant displaying the athleticism that has made him a star.
Walnut Creek's Eric Hasseltine on the call there for the Grizzlies radio network. Grizzlies go to 37-23. Lakers fall to 29-33. 121-105. John Morant with a triple-double, 39 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. He becomes the first man in Grizzlies history to have 10 triple-doubles. LeBron James, the forward for Los Angeles, did not play because of an injured right foot. Meanwhile, Xavier Tillman, 18 points, 11 boards for the Grizzlies, and Desmond Bane added 16. Anthony Davis, 28 points and 19 rebounds. But L.A. had 26 turnovers, resulting in 41 Memphis points. And the Lakers are now 5-10 without LeBron. Memphis had only 7 turnovers in the game, resulting in 9 points. And Memphis just buried L.A. in the paint, 86-48. Again, the final tonight, 121-109. Grizzlies over the Lakers. Denver taking on Houston.
Over to Washington. Left side now, catch and go as Smith leans in. Layup is no good. Rebound down to Nikola Jokic, and there it is. His 100th career triple-double for Nikola Jokic. Also his 24th on the year for the big fella from Denver.
As Denver cruised to a 133-112 victory, that's Jason Kosmicki, the pride of Alliance, Nebraska, on the Nuggets radio network. Jamal Murray added 32 as the Rockets go to 13-48. Denver, Western leading 44-19. Jokic, 14 points, 11 boards, 10 assists for Denver, who have won each game in which he's had a triple-double this season. When he's had a triple-double, they are 24-0. Jalen Green, 17 points in his return for Houston after missing the last 2 with a strained left groin. Tyree Easton had 17. Rockets now have dropped their last 10. Again, the final 133-112. Denver over Houston. Sacramento, meanwhile, they were in Oklahoma City.
Harrison Barnes digging inside, up and under, wild reverse, and he scores it. Oh, my goodness. What a job by Harrison Barnes.
The G-Man, Gary Gerald, with the call as Barnes with 29 points, and the Kings have won 4 in a row. 123-117 was the final. Domantas Sabonis, 22 points, 13 boards, 9 assists. Kevin Huerter added 20. Rookie Jalen Williams, the one from Santa Clara, had a season-high 27 points. Dario Saric had a season-high 21 points for the Thunder as well. But Oklahoma City shot 43.9, while Sacramento shot 52% from the field. Kings with a win, 123-117. Indiana Pacers were taking on the Dallas Mavericks, and this will be a game that was very important to the Warriors.
Irving's going to come and get it against McConnell. 5, 4, crossing over, stepping back for the win. Short rebound. Controlled by Indiana. The horn sounds. The game is over. And once again, the Mavericks unable to convert in a last-second shot situation to tie or win the game.
They lose to Indiana. Pacers went on the road 124-122. Doncic and Irving paired together. It's Luka Doncic to you. They're 1-4 in the 5 games that they have played together. Doncic 39 points and 9 rebounds on his 24th birthday. And it was Tyrese Halliburton with 32 on his birthday. Irving scored 16, but you heard that 3 did not go. Halliburton, well, he was born on February 29th. He's a leap year guy in 2000, but he counted today as his birthday, 9 of 18 from the field. Miles Turner, 24 points. He also had 4 blocks, including 1 each on Doncic and Irving in the second half. And the Mavs have lost to 2 in a row. Of course, they had that 27-point lead on L.A. and lost that game. Off the bench, it was the Mavericks coming away actually with low turnover game. Dallas with only 7 and Indiana with 9. 124-122 Indiana. That win allowed the Warriors to leapfrog Dallas on the standings in the Western Conference, albeit they have the same percentage. Must be a tiebreaker that the Warriors have right now.
Off to the baseline, Collins. Now to Johnson. A floater in the lane is around the rim and good for Keldon Johnson. That is the cherry on top of the pie. 25 for Keldon Johnson. Spurs lead 102-94. A 10-1 run here for the Spurs down the stretch.
That would be the final score as Keldon Johnson with 23 points. The Spurs snap a 16-game losing streak. Dougie McBuckets with 19 for the Spurs. Meanwhile, Lauri Markkanen 28 points and 9 rebounds for Utah. Walter Kessler added 10 points and 15 boards. Again, 102-94 Spurs over the Utah Jazz. And just wrapping up with one other game to get to, and that was the Timberwolves and the Clippers. Big win for the Wolves. After losing to the Warriors, they get to within 1 game of 500 with a 108-101 win down at the Crypt. The Clippers fall to 33-30. Paul George with 25 for L.A. That's the L.A. Clippers. And McDaniels with 20 for the Timberwolves. All right, Tim Roy, it's going to wrap up our portion of the broadcast. R.C. Davis will be our closer yet again to close out the broadcast tonight on the State Farm postgame show. 123-105. Warriors down 23 in the first half. Roar back in the second for the win. At Golden State now with a record of 32-30, 2 games above 500.
A foul. It'll be a 3-point opportunity for Rudy Gobert as the Timberwolves with a free throw can take the lead.
Yeah, he'd missed the free throw, but he and the Wolves would lead by as many as 5 late in that first half. Clippers then rallied to within 2, and it was a tenuous 2-point advantage for the Timberwolves at the halftime break, 58-56. Wolves with the lead. Strong first half for Rudy, 10 points, 5 rebounds in those opening 2 quarters, and as the third quarter got going, an aggressive Anthony Edwards helping increase that Timberwolves lead.
All right, Wolves get it back here. 15 turnovers on the Clippers. McDaniels to the right side. Here's Anthony Edwards. Ant holds, gets a Rudy screen. Uses that to his right, drives in on Morris, puts up the shot.
automatic transmissions to long-range shooters and even longer-range rides. Here's to the legends of the driveway, the Kia Telluride X Pro. Kia is the official automotive partner of the NBA and WNBA.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Dub Nation, you're listening to the Warriors post-game show presented by State Farm.
Here's R.C. Davis.
Down 23 in the second, 17 in the half. Golden State came out in the third on a mission and did not look back. Winning by 18. They're now 2 games over 500 for the 5th time this season. Tonight, the Dubs made 4 dunks, which means $8,000 will be donated by Rakuten to the Warriors Community Foundation as part of the Dunks for Donations program presented by Rakuten. Thank you, Rakuten, and go Warriors. No Curry or Wiggins still. Draymond's MRI on his knee came back clear, so he was good to go right before the game. He put up 12 points, 9 boards, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. A typical Draymond Green game. But our Mercedes-Benz performance of the game came from Jordan Poole.
Poole crosses midcourt. Crossover dribble to the right hand. Dribbles, spins on Watford, goes up and scores. Put him in the blender. Laid it in, 94-84.
Think he's feeling it?
I think so.
Poole, the game high 29 points on 10 of 24 shooting. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the official luxury vehicle of the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson, 23 points, 8 boards, 4 dimes. Our postgame guest, Dante DiVincenzo, had 21 points on an efficient 8 of 11 from the floor. Kevon Looney, what can you say? Where would the Warriors be without this guy? 14 points and 7 rebounds. Tonight, the Dubs made 13 free throws, missing 3 on the night. So $6,500 is going to be donated to the Warriors Community Foundation, benefiting education-focused nonprofits in the Bay Area as part of the Free Throws for Futures program powered by the PG&E Corporation. Visit warriors.com/free throws to learn more. Golden State turned the ball over 18 times. Always seems to be an issue, leading to 22 Blazer points. Warriors won the battle of the boards by 12, 45-33. State Farm has surprisingly great rates on car insurance. You'll get coverage that meets your needs at a price that fits your budget. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Steve Kerr's bench was led by Jonathan Kuminga, had that big jam down the lane, 16 points. Anthony Lamb, a plus 12 in plus minus in about 28 minutes of run. Ty Jerome had 6 assists. We'll take a final look ahead next on the 95.7 The Game Golden State Warriors Radio Network, presented by United Airlines.
Hey, it's Dan Dibley from 95.7 The Game, and I'm excited to let you know that the San Jose Earthquakes are taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps for their 2023 home opener, Saturday, March 4th at 7:30 p.m. The Quakes will be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the 2003 championship team by giving away 10,000 championship jerseys. There will be a special halftime ceremony featuring your favorite 03 alumni and debut of the supporters section. Get your tickets now at sjearthquakes.com.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa. Now through March 21st, new customers can get 1 gig internet on the Xfinity 10G network. It's just $30 a month for 2 years when you add mobile with unlimited data. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Growing up, you were always warned not to get carried away. But in the world of Corteo by Cirque du Soleil, it's all a part of the festivities. Join us in the mysterious space between heaven and earth for the world-class acrobatics, imagination, and humanity of Corteo, a joyous celebration of life. Join us at the Chase Center from August 23rd to August 27th. Corteo thanks its official partner, Air Canada. Get carried away and find your tickets now at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hey, Stephen Curry, it's game day, and you know what that means.
That you're going to talk like an announcer all day long?
Yes, and fans get 10% cash back in arena or online at Warriors Shop by using Rakuten.
That is pretty exciting.
Cash back on Warriors gear is exciting, Stephen Curry.
I think they know it's me.
Good point. We just need to tell them the website.
Rakuten.com/Warriors. RAKUTEN.com/Warriors.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Dub Nation, you are listening to the Golden State Warriors Audio Network presented by United Airlines.
We'll get to John Dickinson next with Warriors Wrap-Up, where you can hear the Steve Kerr postgame press conference brought to you by Kia, the official vehicle partner of the Golden State Warriors. Kia, movement that inspires. Portland led by Oakland's own Damian Lillard, 25 points. No Anthony Simons for Chauncey Billups tonight, and Jeremy Grant had 24. Day off tomorrow, then the Clippers invade Chase Center on Thursday, 7 o'clock with the tip. For Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert, engineer Mike Baird, statistician Alan Brown, editor Cam Williams, network coordinator Sterling Bennett, I'm R.C. Davis. And a special shout to our director of broadcast operations, Marcus Huffman, 35th season with Golden State. Wow. And before we hand it off to Warriors Wrap-Up, want to say happy birthday to Grayson Cutshaw, who was at the game tonight. Happy 9th birthday, big guy. Good night from San Francisco. Warriors 123, Trailblazers 105.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. 2023 Ariya has limited availability. All-wheel drive expected availability early 2023, subject to change.
What makes a buzzer beater so great? The energy, the spontaneity, the choice to just go for it. Last second flight changes aren't so different. Whether it's pulling an all-nighter, checking off a bucket list item, or extending your trip for some R&R. At United, we think last second calls are yours to make. That's why we don't charge change fees, ever. This is what an airline looks like when good leads the way. United is proud to be the official airline of the Golden State Warriors. Exceptions apply for certain international flights. Forever applies to flights within the U.S. and between the U.S. and Mexico or the Caribbean.
Want to win big with your pets? PetSmart has anything they need, however you need it. They make it easy to score food, treats, toys, collars, beds, and more. Whether your most valuable pet is a dog, cat, reptile, fish, or small pet, you can get what they need at PetSmart quickly and conveniently. Shop 1,600 stores, PetSmart.com, or their app and try same-day delivery for free in-store or curbside pickup. PetSmart, anything for pets.
The Warrior season is heating up, and the race to the playoffs has begun. Keep up with your Dubs on NBC Sports Bay Area with pre- and post-game live 1 hour before and after each game. Hosted by Vontae Hill with Warriors alum Chris Mullen and Festus Ezeli. Then join Bob Fitzgerald and Kalina Azubuike for all the action on the court. Get additional coverage with the Dubs Talk podcast, hosted by Kareth Burke and Monty Poole, featuring special guests and in-depth analysis. Authentic moments live here, only on NBC Sports Bay Area.
I know a lot of you really want the State Farm personal price plan, but what's with the oversharing? Like this message from Sarah.
Hi, Jake from State Farm. I eat hard-boiled eggs, like shell and all. The crunch is exquisite.
You don't need to get that personal. The State Farm personal price plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The roar of the crowd.
the sweet sound of a swish. Nothing beats being there live at Chase Center for the game, Warriors fans. And Ticketmaster is your official gateway to buying and selling the best seats all season long. Ticketmaster verifies every seat sold, guaranteeing that getting into the game is a layup. Be there live to defend Warriors ground this season with seats from Ticketmaster.com/Warriors. Ticketmaster, the official marketplace of the Golden State Warriors.
Hey, Stephen Curry, it's game day, and you know what that means.
That you're going to talk like an announcer all day long?
Yes, and fans get 10% cash back in arena or online at Warriors Shop by using Rakuten.
That is pretty exciting.
Cash back on Warriors gear is exciting, Stephen Curry.
I think they know it's me.
Good point. We just need to tell them the website.
Rakuten.com/Warriors. RAKUTEN.com/Warriors.
You've been listening to the Golden State Warriors Audio Network.
Presented by United Airlines.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
That's a wrap.
Yo, that's a wrap. It was an amazing experience. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope they got some laughs, some good entertainment.
This is Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game.
Jerome to the wall. Pass to Thompson, fires away. Got it! Right sideline triple. The Warriors have their first lead of the game. 79-78. Minute 40 to go in the third.
Yeah, Warriors rallying from down big in this one, down by 23. They go on to lead by as many as 19. They win it by 18, 123-105 as we welcome you inside Warriors wrap-up here on 95.7 The Game. It's John Dickinson with you from Chase Center, 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 as the Warriors get the win over the Blazers and continue what is a pretty pivotal homestand for them, now improving to 3-0 with the wins over the Rockets, Timberwolves, and now Portland, and a big couple of games still ahead with the Pelicans in on Friday. But before that, the Clippers in on Thursday, and the Warriors flipping this game in similar fashion to a couple of the other games on this homestand. Bad first quarters giving way to big second halves. And last night it was or the fourth quarter in the game against the Timberwolves a couple of nights ago. Tonight it was the third quarter that flipped the game, but the Warriors really changed the game late in the second quarter, right before halftime. Warriors, after giving up 41 points in the first quarter, trailing 41-27. It was a layup line. There were a lot of wide open corner three-point attempts for the Blazers, and Portland just had their way. Damian Lillard getting to the free throw line. Damian Lillard early in the game, 15 first quarter points. He was 5 of 8 and just commanding and controlling the game. 3 assists as well for Lillard as Portland shot at 60%, 6 of 12 from 3. And the Warriors just couldn't find any defensive footing in that first quarter, but a little bit more competitive in quarter number 2. The offense wasn't there in quarter number 2. The Warriors only 21 points, but they allowed 24 and stabilized the game to a certain extent with the 8-2 run to close the first half. And at the half, the Warriors found themselves down by 17. So it's still going to be a tall ask for the Warriors to be able to come back in this game, but they gave themselves a fighting chance after being down 23 and trimming the 6 points off of the lead at that point to go from 23 down to 17. And then in the third quarter, the Warriors really got active defensively. I know in the post-game press conferences here, there's been a lot of discussion about what changed defensively, not so much maybe the scheme, but the execution and the effort. Warriors with some zone, Warriors with some box and one on Damian Lillard, just doubling him, flat out getting the ball out of his hands, following him around if he was going to dribble it on the perimeter, and leaving Draymond Green on the back end to fend for the rest of the defense. I thought Damian Lillard picking up his 4th foul in the middle of the third quarter was key, and he took a couple of bad shots, had a couple of bad plays, and all of a sudden the Warriors were within 74-70 and able to attack Damian Lillard on the offensive end because he was in foul trouble, and the Warriors find themselves ahead on that Klay Thompson 3 that we played coming in here, 79-78. Kuminga, Lamb, Jerome, all playing strong defense and giving the Warriors a lift in that third quarter. Another game where you mentioned about 5 or 6 other players before you mentioned Kevon Looney, but Kevon Looney was as impactful as he always is, and the Warriors wind up outscoring the Blazers 39-17 in the third quarter, and so the Warriors flipped it in that third quarter. They go from 17 down to 5 points ahead going to the fourth quarter, and they stuck with it. Defensively, they played much better, much more active, and they attacked the basket as they got the Blazers and Lillard in particular in a little bit of foul trouble, but they attacked, and similar to the way they did in the fourth quarter the other night. So the Warriors found themselves up 5 going to the fourth, and then they put it on Portland in that fourth quarter, 36-23 in the fourth, and you add it all up, and it's a 123-105 win for the Warriors, and it is another win on the home floor, third consecutive win here on the homestand for Golden State, and they again have gotten to the 2-game over 500 mark, which has been the limit for them to this point this season. How significant, though, are the 3 wins for the Warriors here over this last handful of days here coming out of the All-Star break since they've been back at home? Well, it's allowed the Warriors to vault from 10th before play started on Friday night all the way up to 5th now in the Western Conference. That's right, 5th in the Western Conference. The Warriors by percentage points, they're 32-30, Clippers at 33-31, but if you keep carrying the decimal points out, the Warriors, although it is a virtual tie between them and the Clippers, the Warriors by percentage points have the advantage on the Clippers, who got beat tonight by Minnesota, and so the Warriors find themselves at 32-30, a game back of 4th in the West, and now in a tie with the Clippers, but percentage points ahead of them. Warriors tonight gained ground, as you look at this, gained ground on the Clippers, who got beat by Minnesota. Warriors handled Minnesota on Sunday, so they gained ground on Minnesota there, but they gained ground on the Lakers, who got beat by Memphis tonight. They gained ground on Oklahoma City, who lost for a second consecutive game at home to Sacramento as the Kings continue their hot sprint out of the break. Kings are 4-0 since the All-Star break. They beat Portland, which also helped the Warriors back at the beginning of the post-All-Star break portion of the schedule. Then Dallas lost to Indiana, and so the Mavs are struggling, and a couple of these new-look teams that made some big-time moves right before the deadline are not looking so hot right about now, as Dallas lost at home to Indiana. And so they find themselves dropping. And then Utah got beat by San Antonio. Spurs hadn't won a game in about a month and a half. And Utah Utah falls there. And so the Warriors gaining on all of these teams beneath them: Lakers, Thunder, Mavs, Jazz, Portland, and the Clippers with the win. And with the series of wins here coming out of the break, the Warriors now find themselves at 2 games over 500. They are tied for 5th in the West, and Kevin Durant's going to come back for the Suns tomorrow in Charlotte. And so the sprint is on, but believe it or not, the Warriors only still a game back of 4th. That's where it gets a little bit more dicey. The Kings, with their hot play, have been able to separate a little bit. So they've got a 3.5 game lead over Phoenix, 4.5 game lead over the Warriors and Clippers here now at 36-25. So we've been talking about it a lot. What does it take? Just 2 or 3, 4 wins in a row can make a huge difference. And just here in the matter of 4 days, the Warriors have moved up 5 spots just by going 3-0 and handling business and being able to come back and beat a couple of these teams these last 2 games that are right there in the mix with them. So 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. It's John Dickinson here on Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game as the Warriors get the win over the Blazers. Big third quarter, big second half, really, for the Warriors, as it is 75-40 Warriors in the second half. And you add the Warriors from where they were at the end of the third quarter, it was even bigger than that, but 75-40 in the second half from 17 down. The Warriors wind up winning this game in blowout fashion by 18 after leading by as many as 19. Good to see Draymond Green back and effective for the Warriors. There was some good news yesterday with the MRI coming back clean, and then Draymond being probable and available for this one. And it was the quintessential Draymond Green game against Portland, where he's pushing the pace, he's quarterbacking the defense as a free safety behind the play. He's a game high plus 26. And the typical 12 points, 9 boards, 8 assists, couple of steals, couple of blocks, just impact felt in every different phase of the game. And tonight was the kind of game where if the Warriors don't get Draymond back, maybe they can't flip the script on this Portland team after Portland built the 23-point lead. But the Warriors able to hang around. And I think, again, going back to late in that second quarter, being able to hang around. Portland's blown a lot of leads this year. And so to start to slow down Lillard a little bit, to start to be able to dare some of the other Portland players to beat you after a hot start from 3-point range, and they were unable to do so. And Lillard really had a brutal first half of the third quarter. Warriors defense had a lot to say about that, and that helped this game ultimately turn in the Warriors' favor, where they were never looking back come the fourth quarter. The better defense, adjustments potentially to the game plan, the zone, the box and one, Kuminga getting an opportunity to be thrown on Lillard a little bit. This was a nice, solid Jonathan Kuminga game. How about Dante DiVincenzo? Dante DiVincenzo, again, for the Warriors, shooting the heck out of the ball from three, makes 5 of 7 tonight, but it's a little bit of everything from DiVincenzo. The 3 assists, the ball player. Dante DiVincenzo is someone who has been tremendous for the Warriors in the games that Steph Curry has missed, especially. You go back to the holiday homestand where the Warriors ripped off 5 in a row. They're right. The last week of calendar year 2022 in December and on into that first couple of days of January, he was having games then like he's had here these last couple of games when not only Curry's been out, but Wiggins has been out as well, and he's been able to step right into the starting lineup and be a really impactful player. Says a lot about the Warriors' ability to do what they did tonight with Klay Thompson not having the monster offensive performance that he's had over these last 2 games. Klay came out, didn't shoot it well, as awful a first quarter and half really as Klay's had in quite some time, but Klay able to stabilize. He had a big second half coming off of the rough first half, but Dante DiVincenzo, he's somebody that I think has got to play more when Curry is back, because one of the more confounding aspects of this team, and there's some good Curry news that we can get to between now and 11 o'clock here on 95.7 The Game, a report dropping right before tip-off from Bay Area News Group with the first real details of what's been going on for Steph and just how close potentially Steph could be to a return to the lineup. And it's for the first time seeming like it would be sooner than later. Reevaluation officially coming for Steph Curry tomorrow, and so expect that here leading into these next 2 against the Clippers and Pelicans. So if it's not if it's not Thursday or Friday, it's looking more and more like potentially the early part of next week as opposed to maybe the later part. But again, nothing official on that. We'll get you caught up on the report from Madeline Kenny and Shayna Rubin of the Bay Area News Group here coming up on 95.7 The Game. So yeah, lots to get into. We will hear from Steve Kerr. We will hear from Dante DiVincenzo. We hope to hear from Draymond Green, maybe even Jordan Poole as well. And, Jordan Poole, the maligned Jordan Poole for the Warriors this year. I jokingly texted my guy Matt Steinmetz, are Warrior fans going to be coming after Jordan Poole tonight or not? And the answer is obviously they're not going to be coming after Jordan Poole tonight, because Jordan Poole, after another iffy start, winds up 29 points and a plus 25 and aggressive in attacking. We talk about DiVincenzo attacking. Jordan Poole was attacking. And how great has Jordan Poole been this year against Portland? Well, in 3 games against Portland, 41 for Jordan Poole back on December 30th. And there were some big-time December 30th last time Portland was in this building vibes as there was tonight. Almost the identical situation. Curry was out. Wiggins was out. And the Warriors got down big, came back and won that game that Friday night right before the end of 2022. But in that first game, 41 for Jordan Poole, 38 for Jordan Poole 3 weeks ago in Portland, as the Warriors ended up losing that game by 3 down the stretch, and 29 tonight. Jordan Poole outscored Damian Lillard in all 3 games, and Damian Lillard's coming off a 71. And look, Jordan Poole wasn't the one shutting Damian Lillard down. That was a team effort and a scheme effort. But anytime you can have Steph Curry out when you're going up against Damian Lillard, and you can win the point guard battle against Portland in terms of points scored, you got a hell of a shot to walk out with a win, and you got a hell of a shot to walk out with a win, and a win in blowout fashion. So the Warriors get that job done tonight. 888-957-9570 if you want to react to this one. Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome also contributing factors in this one, as well, as they both get closer to their 50-game limit before they'd have to be added to the Warriors' active roster or not play anymore between now and the end of the regular season or playoffs. We'll get to all of that. It's all coming up. We'll pause here. We'll come back. We'll keep this thing rolling until 11 o'clock. Warriors get the win over the Blazers, 123-105. You heard it right here, 95.7 The Game.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now, that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs, so you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
There are so many reasons to get hooked on Church's 8-piece shrimp meal. It's dippable, crunchable, downright irresistible, and it starts at $5.99. The only catch? It's only here for a limited time. Church's Texas Chicken. Welcome to the great state of flavor.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based off incomplete or outdated information, so don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The road to the belt and the bag begins in San Jose.
They're all about knocking each other out of the tournament.
Yes, I'm on a mission. With opening round action in the $1 million lightweight Grand Prix. Undefeated champ Usman Nurmagomedov faces a huge test in his first title defense against 30-win veteran Benson Henderson.
I'm a certified winner.
Bellator MMA, live at the SAP Center in San Jose, Friday, March 10th. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? If so, please listen to this message. Neuropathy is a serious, progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. Call SF-Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE to get back to doing the things you want to do. There is no drug, exercise, or surgery that can heal nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life fully. SF-Bay Wellness has a time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients to improve and reverse their neuropathy. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE. Call now for your $99 neuropathy special and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Call 844-94-NERVE. That's 844-94-NERVE and start to enjoy life again.
Hey, it's Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast, and every single day we're doing the Fast Five. Your opportunity as a Morning Roast listener to get in on the show with me and Bonte, 8:50 every single day.
Ryan in St. Louis, what's happening? You're on the Morning Roast Fast Five. What you got?
I think we should be incredibly optimistic about the 49ers' future when you consider how good our defense is.
Fast Five, presented by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. 2023 Ariya has limited availability. All-wheel drive expected availability early 2023, subject to change.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Michelle. As an entrepreneur, every day is different. My phone bill from Cricket, on the other hand, always stays the same. Without surprises, hidden fees, or annual contracts, I can work worry-free. That's Michelle, everybody, doing business like a boss. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer, paid for testimonial. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Poole catches from Lamb, takes a three, nailed it. Poole is on fire right now. 90-82. The Warriors lead by 8. Poole at halftime was 5 of 12 with 12 points. He's got 27 right now, 9 of 19.
Now back to Warriors Wrap-Up on 95.7 The Game.
All right, Warriors get the win tonight over the Blazers. John Dickinson back with you inside Chase Center. 123-105 is the final. 888-957-9570. The hardest working player of the game. That's coming up here in just a moment. But let's get to Dre on the phone lines at 888-957-9570. What's going on tonight, Dre?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what do you think about what Steve Kerr did today about taking Jordan Poole off the ball and letting Dante run the show? To me, Jordan Poole is more of a two guard than a point guard. A lot of the turnovers this year is coming from him kind of being out of position and putting him at point guard. Well, I like what Steve Kerr did today by letting him roam around at the two and letting Dante. I just want to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good move. I think there was more of that tonight, Dre. I think that's a astute observation, and I think Jordan Poole is kind of a 1.5, really, and he's somebody that he can bring it up, but he can get rid of it and get it back. And I think Poole's better when he gives it up and gets it back within the context of the offense, rather than somebody that's just putting it on the deck constantly and spending 10, 15 seconds looking to make a move. And so yeah, I think more Dante as a ball handler and a true passer and a facilitator allows Poole to get the ball with the defense in flux a little bit more, and it makes it a little bit easier to attack, as opposed to when he's just got it and teams are geared up to try and stop him. So I think that is something that you see, and it plays in line with the fact that, really where Jordan Poole made hay last year was when he was playing with Curry and starting when Klay Thompson was out with Curry. Like, that's when Poole was as efficient as he's ever been, and going for 19 a game and doing it in like I said, a highly efficient manner. And so that really has been, I think, when he's been his best. Now, he has had times where he's played the point and been the starting point guard. The end of last year was one of those stretches. Earlier in the year was another one of those stretches down the at the end of December and the beginning of January. And so but yeah, anytime you can take a little bit of the heat off of Poole, I think that helps, because I do think, and Steve Kerr's addressed this over the last couple of days, it's a matter of he wants to try to do too much, and I think he gets in trouble when he is somebody that's trying to do too much, and the defense is more solely focused on him as he moves up the pecking order of the Warriors' scouting report for other teams that they look at. So 888-957-9570. Let's get to the hardest worker of the game. Hardest working player of the game is brought to you by AC Transit.
Warriors with it. DiVincenzo pass to Draymond. Backdoor cut again by Draymond. Gets the lay-in. And Tom, what you talked about in the first half, they're doing it exactly. They're not going necessarily at Lillard. They're just running their offense.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Warriors running their offense. Draymond facilitating a lot, and he finishes with the 12 points. And Draymond, a big part of the Warriors' ability to have the big comeback and get the job done tonight. Your AC Transit hardest working player of the game. AC Transit looking for hard workers and offering a $2,000 bonus for new bus operators and journey level mechanics to join their team. For more complete details and to apply, visit actransit.org/careers. That's actransit.org/careers. 888-957-9570. Looking at a couple of text messages here, Xfinity Mobile text line, and Anthony Lamb, second consecutive game for him where he was impactful in the second half and impactful in the fourth quarter. And Anthony Lamb is someone that's coming up now on, I believe, 47 games tonight for Anthony Lamb as far as games played, and the limit for him is 50. And so you look at, once you get to 50, you're ineligible to play with the big club unless you're signed into one of the 15 roster spots. Well, Anthony Lamb could be signed into that 15th roster spot. And there's been like a lot of, what do the Warriors do? Is it Lamb or Jerome? And I think at this point, the answer is really simple. If you get to the point where, to me, you sign Lamb as soon as you have to at this point, because his time would figure to come up before Ty Jerome's. Ty Jerome's played a few less games compared to Lamb. And so to me, you sign Lamb into that roster spot. You're more likely to need a forward versus a guard if you're healthy at the guard line, and the Warriors project to be healthy at the guard line soon. I know we get into this all the time about that back and forth of what do they do, but they need forwards more than they need guards when they're fully healthy. And so I think that, coupled with the fact that Lamb's decision day is sooner, although it doesn't have to be, by the way. Anthony Lamb could just be inactive for the Golden State Warriors once he reaches 50, and then signed at any point between now and the end of the regular season into one of the 15 roster spots, and that would make him eligible for the remaining regular season games at that point and for the playoffs. And so to me, it's simple. You sign Lamb, and you know that Curry's coming back, and if you have Curry and Clay, you have Poole and DiVincenzo. That's 4 right there that are going to be playing ahead of Ty Jerome, and Gary Payton II would be a 5th. So to me, Ty Jerome is somebody that winds up not being on the active roster. Now, you do have a wild card. You do have an emergency option as well, but it's not one the Warriors would have to look at quite yet. But you do have the Iguodala roster spot. If Iguodala got to a point at the end of the year where he wasn't going to be healthy and able to help you in the playoffs, and a guard got hurt, and you needed a guard to take a spot, well, then maybe you could potentially waive Iguodala and sign Jerome into Iguodala's spot. But I think that's the order of operations as far as the way the Warriors would have to play this thing out moving forward. Lamb gets the first opportunity, and then if you do have some kind of an injury where you need another guard, then you got to take a long look at Iguodala's spot and the potential to make another move. So let's go ahead and hear from the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr, as he met with the media following this one, as the Warriors get their third straight win from a game under 500. They're now 2 over and currently 5th in the Western Conference. Here's the head coach.
Steve, a nice run to close out the first half, but that only got it down to 17. Did you think that's kind of where it started? And then what happened there in the third quarter to turn it all around?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to close the half and just make it a little more of a manageable deficit. And but I just felt like the intensity picked up in the second half. The defense was much better. We held them to, I think, 40 points in the second half. So, they were amazing early on. They were hitting everything, and we were a little scattered. We kind of had a different game plan tonight than normal, and we're still putting some things together a little bit out there during the first quarter, and I thought we did a much better job of executing defensively in the second half.
How do you think they executed the defense on Dame? It felt like you decided to just take him out.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys don't do that often. What did you think of the execution of that?
Well, I mean, we know all too well what Dame can do, when he gets rolling. So that was the plan from the beginning. Like, let's try to take him out. And the biggest thing was not fouling him. So I was losing my mind on those 2 foul calls early in the game. I didn't think we fouled him, but he was driving to the rim and drew 2 fouls, I think. And he shot 16 free throws last time we played them, and that was the difference. So tonight he had 5 early, and we didn't foul him at all in the second half. So that was key. And we just, you just make a decision. You're just going to make somebody else make a shot instead of him, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets.
Steve, Draymond was plus 26. How would you assess his impact on the game tonight?
Plus 26 says it better than I can say it.
I mean, 12 rebounds, I think 9 assists, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. How important was it to have him back tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge, especially with the game plan. I mean, Draymond is as good as anybody I've ever seen executing the stuff we were doing tonight. It's just basically becomes a zone on the backside of the play. If you're going to double Dame, at half court or blitz him or whatever, you have to have somebody like Draymond or Loon on the backside, or both of them, to navigate what's happening, because it's basically 4-on-3. And I thought they executed beautifully there, and that's why I left the starters out there for as long as I did to start the third quarter.
I mean, you've mentioned kind of the complexity to your game plan tonight. Do you think you'll want to, I know you're not playing Lillard on a nightly basis, but adding more complexity into your defenses moving forward, do you think that's a way that you guys can be more effective?
I mean, I told the players in our walkthrough that this is a great game for us, because this is kind of what the playoffs are about. You got to figure out your opponent and maybe throw something different at them, and then have the poise to stay with it. It's really easy if you do what we did tonight and take the ball out of Dame's hands and they hit like 4 or 5 threes right away. It's really easy to sort of, say, this isn't going to work. But you just have to remember the forest for the trees. You just got to remember 48 minutes. Let's keep at it, but do it a little bit better, and trust that what we're trying to do will work. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But the main thing is that the team feels it and goes through that process, because we got a lot of young guys who haven't been through it before.
You mentioned the word poise, and that's something that we've talked a lot about throughout the season. A lot of the time it's been the lack of poise, but have there been some tangible things that you can see or feel that has been shifting, especially these last 2 games to close out that game the other night and then make up this big comeback tonight that you guys didn't have earlier on?
It just feels like we're coming together. It feels like there's some chemistry, some energy that's forming. We've been battling all season and without Steph and Wiggs for so much of the season. And, these guys have done a great job of just keeping our heads above water. And I think we can feel the finish line. We know Steph's going to be back before too long. Hopefully Wiggs, hopefully Gary. So, we've got reinforcements coming, and in the meantime, these guys are doing a hell of a job. So it feels like there's some grit and some toughness, and the guys are really coming together. It's fun to watch.
Steve, with Kuminga, he's been
tonight, so steady and just showing you signs. I know you've said, but that dunk where he went down the middle through two guys, and it was pretty loud in here. I mean, how much of a lift did he give you? In the second half?
Yeah, JK was great. We asked him to guard Lillard quite a bit during the game, and then I thought he made a couple of beautiful cuts to the basket, and that's what we're really trying to get him to focus on. JP threw him a pass over the top, and he got a layup and a foul. That was a big play in the game, and that's the kind of play we need more from him, just the dives and understanding what that dive does, not just maybe getting him a bucket, but pulling the defense in so that we can get somebody open on the other side of the floor. So JK's, he's learning every single day, and he's doing a good job of just working and staying with it. I thought he was really good tonight.
Steve, Jordan drove to the basket pretty consistently tonight. What do you think about his game as far as that goes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought his aggressiveness was really important for us. They early in the game, it was all jumpers for us, and they played great defense. They were switching everything. We really didn't get much at the rim, and then I thought Jordan attacking, late in the half and then into the second half was really important in terms of setting a tone.
Steve, over here, you allowed 17 points in the fourth quarter the other night, and as you noted, just 40 in the second half tonight. What has caused that urgency, that intensity to rise, and how much did the box and one or wwhatever you did on Dame tonight sort of help keep your players engaged and I guess focus on that?
I don't know. I mean, it's I don't think it was the scheme as much as it was just the energy. We ran the same stuff in the first half and didn't work very well. So whatever you run, the guys have to bring energy and alertness and grit, and that's what we saw the whole second half, just like the other night. So that's why I said I'm really pleased with what seems to be happening with the group coming together and kind of gutting out some wins. It's exciting.
Maybe along those lines with the box and one, what did you think about Dante's effort tonight, especially two-way shadowing Dame, but then coming up with some really timely buckets?
Yeah, he hit some huge buckets and made big plays for us, but he's been doing that all year. He's just having a spectacular season. I'm so happy for him. Last year was tough with the injuries, and he got traded and didn't know where he was going to end up. And it's been a perfect spot for him and a perfect fit for us. So he's bringing it every single night. It's exciting watching him.
Steve, you mentioned a couple nights ago you liked the Kuminga Lamb combo. Yeah. You used it a lot tonight. What is it about those two playing together that helps seemingly both of them?
Well, Lamb is a 0.5 player. I mean, when the ball hits his hands, he either dribbles, passes, or shoots immediately because he recognizes what's happening on the floor. And so he found JK on that. I think JK was getting fronted, and he saw Lamb flash to the bucket, and he knows that stuff. It's instinctive for him, and so he helps JK get some easy buckets. And then they're both very versatile defensively, and so they both fit in a switching type of defense. So they're both really strong. It's one of the things I think modern NBA, you want as many guys who can stand up to different players over and over again, because you're going to have to guard in space, and you can't let guys run right through you. And both guys really do a good job holding people up defensively.
Steve, about that 41-point first quarter you guys gave up, you called a couple of timeouts. What was the point, and what was it you wanted to get across to the guys in regrouping?
I think we messed up a couple coverages, and we weren't in sync defensively. So the quick timeouts were just to help us get organized, and I thought our staff did a great job at halftime making adjustments. We had we kind of cut down the game plan a little bit, simplified it in the second half, and that made a difference. But I have such a great staff, and we got guys who are really all over the adjustments that need to be made, and they communicated that well to the group, and everybody executed. It was fun.
Steve, as you've mentioned a few times this year, defense was kind of the bigger concern, the biggest difference really between last year. You guys ranked so high last year, not as much this year. How important or essential, I guess, is that down this home stretch, and how confident are you that you can sustain this kind of defensive effort?
It's everything. I mean, you don't win in the playoffs unless you're really good defensively. And in our case, we may not get to the playoffs unless we're really good defensively. So it's a good sign that we're making some strides.
And the Warriors have made strides and been able to make those adjustments that Steve Kerr mentioned in a lot of these games at home off of some bad starts or some poor stretches to still hang on and be able to win a lot of those games. 888-957-9570. We still got to give you the update from the Bay Area News Group, from Shayna Rubin and Madeline Kenny on Steph Curry and even Andre Iguodala. We're talking about Andre, but I want to get to a couple of callers here before we close out the night. Sal in Alameda is up next here on 95.7 The Game. What's going on, Sal?
Hey, good evening. This is Al from Alameda.
Oh, Al. Hey, what's
Thank
up,
you
Al?
for taking
Yep,
my
it
call.
said Sal on my board here, but how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Yes, I got two things here. Oh, maybe three things, okay? You know, I've been watching this lately that we're getting behind the second half. And somehow we're picking it up. Our energy is there, and, you know, we win the game. Okay, but in the first half, it seems like we're always down. We're not playing as a team, but the second half, we're doing it. And I'm kind of giving Steve Kerr credit here. He's pushing the right button right now. Okay. And Lamb, DiVincenzo, Looney, these three guys here are doing the job for us right now. I know we don't have Wiggins and we don't have Curry. And I don't know now when they come back, how is the lineup going to be? How's the speed going to be? Is it going to be a little slower, or are we going to get in trouble? Someone like on defense here. That's I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm carrying the points right there. A defense like DiVincenzo, this guy could jump. He could play defense. Okay, I'm not saying Curry is not. He's not the man guy, but he could score. But he's not like DiVincenzo. He could play defense more than Curry. And Wiggins, he's up and down, you know. Well, I know he's got a little personal problem there, but I'm kind of concerned that when they come back here, I don't know how's the lineup going to be again. We have to adjust here, and right now we're like 3 games, over 500, and that's what I want to jump in. I'm going to call.
Yep, thanks, Al. Appreciate the call. There is definitely going to be an adjustment period when Steph comes back, and if and when Wiggins comes back, and they get everybody in the fold together again. And look, the Warriors are 12-12 without Steph Curry, and that means they're 20-18 with Steph Curry this season. And it's not a question of Steph. Obviously, Steph's one of the great players of all time. He's a franchise player, but the pieces and the way the pieces have complemented each other when Steph has been on the floor, when they have been closer to whole, has been more problematic this year than the time where Curry has been out. Like, you would take 500 in 24 games throughout a regular season without Steph Curry any year. But the issue has been that the pieces haven't totally fit. And whether it's been the veterans coasting that we've talked about a lot, whether it's been the young players unable to fit and finding that cohesive rotation, I think who the 8-9 players are going to be, finding enough defense to go with the offense, but there is going to have to be that adjustment period come whenever the Warriors are whole again. But who's going to be playing: Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, DiVincenzo, Poole. Those 7 are playing. Kuminga's probably playing. Gary Payton II's playing if he's healthy, and then probably Anthony Lamb, JaMychal Green. Those are going to be the sometimes in the rotation, sometimes not in the rotation, depending upon matchups, kinds of players. And then everybody else is probably not seeing the floor unless there's some kind of injury or change. Luke Mann in Fairfield next here on Warriors Wrap Up. What's going on, Luke Mann?
Hey, JD, how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
What's up,
doing
JD? Well. I just want to say Chase Center was electric second half. Was there tonight. The fans really brought it in that second half. I feel like we really gave our team some energy. The way we were attacking the basket in the second half was really the key, and the momentum shift that we needed. Jonathan's dunk down the lane was the spark that really got us over the hump, in my opinion. And our defense was really committed to our game plan, and we actually were stretching out to the 3-point line. So that was nice.
Yeah,
and that's it. It was a good win.
Yeah, real good win. Chase was electric. There's no